before I had any songs on radio or OneRepublic was even signed or anything happening, I was just determined to make a living doing music. I didn't care how. I just like, I have to quit Pottery Barn. I need to get this. I need to stop working for other people. Hey, I'm Ryan Tedder from OneRepublic, and you are watching Billboard News.
There's a new OneRepublic album, a lot of new collaborations. We're going to start with the thing everyone's talking about, which is the Olympics.
Okay, yeah.
So you produced this phenomenal song, super fun, for Gwen Stefani and Anderson .Paak. I know we know a bit of the story, but what was that process actually like, and how has it been now that it's out?
I started by writing songs for commercials and then movies and then TV series, and I loved it, and I thought for probably 2 years, right after Columbia dropped my band, I was like, I guess this is my gig. I'm just gonna write songs for movies and TV and film. I genuinely enjoy doing it. It's called like prescriptive writing. Sometimes it's actually easier, like when someone's like, here's the topic, here are the things we can't do. It's a sandbox, right? Here's the sandbox, fill the sandbox, make it beautiful. So the process for Coca-Cola and the Olympics, it was definitely challenging. It was a perfect combination of fun and challenging. It definitely tested my Rolodex. Yeah. You know, there's a list of desired, I'll say, artists that the International Olympic Committee has and that Coca-Cola has. Then they have to cross their list, find where those artists commingle, right? Then it's like, okay, here's a realistic group of artists. What's the song going to be about? What can we be about? What can't we say? What can we say? So there's like Zooms with the IOC, which is interesting. It's like people in Switzerland and Portugal and Australia and England and France. And then you've got Coca-Cola, a guy in Austin, a guy in LA. It was like daunting in a way, and I don't really get that daunted. I was like, whoa, I need all 10 of you to like this. Right. So it took like 4 approaches pretty much. And I think on this one, it was like the 3rd or 4th submission that was like, this is the one.
And it's a hit.
We'll see.
You grew up watching the Olympics, I understand. Yeah. Do you have a favorite sport that you kind of never want to miss? I never miss gymnastics, men's and women's. We were watching women's last night and watching the incredible Simone Biles like power through a calf injury. I never miss track and field. I never miss swimming. I never miss gymnastics, men's and women's. As this basketball gets towards the end, as soccer gets towards the end, surfing is always fun. Saw a little bit of fencing. Always the obligatory 2 or 3 things where you're like, wait, that's a sport? Like, okay. You learn something new.
Yeah, it's like, maybe I'll be an Olympian in a few years. I'm gonna pick like whatever the sport is that hasn't quite made it, and let's see if I can get on that train. Yeah.
The Olympics, the Summer Olympics will be in LA in 2028. Yeah. You have all of these connections now with the committee. Yeah. What would you want to do to celebrate the Olympics here?
I definitely would like to do the song for 2028. I've already made that abundantly clear with IOC and with Coke. I would lean, like sonically, I would want to encapsulate the most Californian, the essence of California in the record. Yeah. It could be like anywhere, some combination of like obviously hip hop, West Coast hip hop. It makes me think like early 90s, mid 90s California hip hop, and but then I also think Beach Boys. Totally. So like somewhere between the Beach Boys and hip hop.
You produced one of my favorite albums of last year, Tate McRae's Think Later. Executive produced, I should say. Have you two had the conversations about what is next for the two of you?
Every day.
What can you tell us?
I was texting her this morning. I am not trying to get on the wrong side of Miss McRae, so I'm keeping my lips sealed. I'll just say that like she has put in the work. We've all put in the work, and she is more or less a professional athlete prior to being a professional recording artist. So she attacks and approaches music like someone who is a Division I athlete. Tate is like, when it comes to work ethic and task-oriented, goal-oriented, perfectionist, she's like Olympic level focus. Is there a song on this new album that came out in July that you didn't expect to have that sort of like viral moment or a moment that really took off online, but it has as a pleasant surprise? Yeah, I mean, we've actually had a couple, which is cool. I mean, the weirdest thing about this album, and I don't think that, I mean, the next album will be different because we're always trying to flip it up, but like, this represents like more or less the end of our album cycle. Right. Because this started a little over 2 years ago with a song called West Coast. I've been dreaming about the West Coast. The second single off the album, the second song I wrote, the second song that we produced was I Ain't Worried. I ain't worried about it right now. Keeping dreams alive. In our mind, it was literally, this is our second single after West Coast. Also, it's in Top Gun. That'll help it.
Yeah.
It more or less came out and like walked up behind West Coast and like strangled it and was like, and it's our turn. I'd like to think I have a decent gauge of what songs might be hits or big, but nobody's right all the time. Nobody is, and I absolutely did not see that coming. I, in no way, shape, or form, thought that song was going to explode the way it did. I just had no idea.
Top 10 hit?
America's always the hardest nut to crack for a lot of artists, and for OneRepublic too. We'll have a song go #1 in 15 countries, and we come back to the States and it's like, #9, like, which is fine, I'm not complaining, but like that is just like, we're always like the stepchild over here. And so that song, we first saw it go nuclear overseas, like a lot of our stuff. And again, we were like chasing it, like where is it? Who's driving this? Of course, some kid took the intro to the song, my whistle, slowed it down, and I knew that it was like officially going everywhere when like, I think it was Kevin Hart posted it, and then Ryan Seacrest posted it, and then like Reese Witherspoon like making pancakes. It's like, I was like, okay,
this is a thing.
This is a thing now. And it's weird because it's not even the chorus, it's just the whistle. It really is a weird thing where social media is steering the music industry more than any outside actor has ever steered it, except for maybe MTV back in the day. So it's a new paradigm, and I think every artist goes through that zone where they go, how do I exist in this? And I went through almost a mourning period of mourning how it used to be.
Right.
And I've now passed that, and I'm like, this is already bonus round. Shut up, write another song, put it out. Stop overthinking it. You're here to make music, don't overthink it. And on this album, we've caught 2 or 3 songs that happen to go viral. And I know that if I put out another 7 in the next 18 months, one of them will catch. I don't know which one, it probably won't be the one that I want, but it's like, that's the way it is. We have the David Guetta song that is the most recent one to catch fire. When we recorded it, I was like, this is too obvious, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's like too obvious, and we've never done a song like that's just like swinging for the pop fence. And as is the case with OneRepublic, of course, in Europe and overseas, it went. We still have some songs on this album that we're putting out, Hurt and Sink or Swim. Those will have their life. They'll either have a moment or they won't, but they're great songs. And then My Brain is already going 2025. I See You. I can't wait.
Coming.
We're coming, yeah.
Do you listen to music for fun? Can you?
Yeah, I do. If I'm working out and listening to music, I'm listening to Rap Caviar. There's a few songs you have to see. Some of the songs you're just like, God, man, I can't, what in the world? If I'm hanging out by a pool anywhere in the world or on vacation with other people, I put on, there's this playlist called French Poolside Disco. I've been listening to it for 7 years.
Okay.
And it's the most perfectly curated summer or vacation playlist on earth. I have lost count of the amount of people, friends, family that have been like, what is this playlist? I have to have it. I filter in like some of my favorite acts that I've curated some playlists, like whether it's the Beatles, Beach Boys, Jeff Buckley, and then I'm a massive Muddy Waters fan. Fine. Awesome. Muddy Waters is more like hosting, having dinner, cooking dinner, Muddy Waters. Like I just put on the best of Muddy Waters and let it play.
And then I know obviously like for current artists, you either are working or want to work with Rosalia. Yes. You mentioned Sabrina Carpenter.
Yep.
Can you appreciate when like Sabrina has 2 hits right now?
Crazy hard to do.
Can you listen to that, or is your brain thinking of like, because I want to work with you, I listen and therefore my brain is working?
No, I listen to, I mean, the people are like, please, 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 or espresso. I think they're both great. I'm more espresso because I'm just like, it's like the first time I heard it and texted Amy Allen, who's a good friend of mine, and we worked together all the time. I was like, that's a smash.
Yep.
She's like, you think so? I think we have better songs coming. I was like, I don't know what you have coming. I'm just telling you, I think this is a hit. I heard it one time at Coachella. I was like, I'll check in with you in a week. Let's see how it's doing. It was like, boom. There are songs that come on the radio or on streaming that are hits that I skip past. We all have them. Music is subjective. So there's a lot of things I think are silly. I even think I think getting acknowledged by your peers is cool and fun. I've always had a weird association with awards of any kind because I'm just like, unless it's literally, funny enough, like Billboard Awards where it's like, statistically, you did the best.
Yeah,
it's
we have the data to show you.
We have the data to back it up. You haven't won anything other than a statistic. Like, That's fine because it's real. It's like you streamed X amount, you sold X amount, you did X amount. Like those are like, congrats, you crushed this year.
Yeah.
Like the song, don't like the song, doesn't matter, you crushed. This subjective stuff gets weird, which is all, music is purely subjective. Saying one song is better than the other is not a thing. It doesn't exist. It's like orange is better than blue. No.
Says who?
Says who? So I don't like to really get in the weeds on it, but I will say the internet has upended music, social media, to the extent that we all know it. There are some songs that probably shouldn't be there. They probably shouldn't be top 5, but they are. But time always will tell. Like those songs, there's some songs that smash that I'm just like, I don't understand how this is a hit. I can't listen to it, but time always wins.
I think that this band has done that arguably the most. I mean, there's, I think, 16 Hot 100 number hits, and all of them are still songs that I actively play and love.
Thank you.
Apologize is maybe my favorite, but you know, there's a lot.
I'm afraid it's too late to apologize.
Yeah, apologize needs to be, I keep telling my manager, I'm like, and now like when I'm like working with rappers, which I've been doing a decent amount of recently, I like keep planting a bug in their ear. I'm like, you know would go crazy right now? Apologize.
I do agree.
Let's remix it, but like, I'll re-sing it. Like, we don't even gotta sample it, I'll replay it, I'll re-sing it. It's like, now's the time. If it's 2024, it's been 17 years. I would say that like, the statute of limitations is lifted. It's time for us to have one. I wanna figure out who the right rapper is.
I was gonna ask, not to put you on the spot, but do you have a short list?
I've like dropped some hints to Jack, and I've dropped some in Jack's manager. I did a record with 21 Savage that came out the end of last year. I was hitting his squad. I was like, yo, does he like apologize? He's like, man, we all, of course he does. I was like, all right, I'm just saying, someone's gonna do it, rather than it be just a flipped sample. When that song has a second life, I wanna re-sing it. I can sing it better now. So it's like, I wanna actually reproduce it, re-sing it, and I want it to be meaningful. I don't know, it's just something I'm like marinating on. Like some other songs I've gone through, we flipped Bleeding Love for Karol G, Contigo.
Yeah.
It's really weird to reproduce your own record and sample it for another. It's the strangest thing. So you're listed twice in the credits, it's weird.
Yeah, obviously a totally different tangent, but I think Taylor has opened up that can of worms for a lot of artists as well.
Taylor's just, it's like, I wasn't alive when the Beatles blew up. None of us were born yet. But like, you're watching it.
Yeah.
You're watching it with Taylor. I've just never seen anything like it in my life. And somebody yesterday was like, when's she running for president? I was like, oh. It's like, would she win? Would she win? It's like, it'd be the biggest sweep of all time. But don't do that to yourself. Like, don't. Just don't even go. It's like too much. Don't invite the drama.
We have some Taylor's versions to get through first, maybe.
We have like, she's got plenty more songs to write. She's the most prolific. Like I've said in countless interviews, they're like who the most talented people you worked with. I was like, McCartney blew my mind because he jumped around and played every instrument like a session player on all the music that we did, and he was doing it like that, like 7 instruments. It's like, and here's the harpsichord. And then Taylor, it's like McCartney and Taylor, genuinely like she just, it's her brain. It's like ChatGPT needs another 5 to 10 years to catch up with how fast she can script and write.
That's incredible.
Lyrics. Yeah, it's wild.
In addition to everything we've talked about, which is a lot, I mentioned at the top your publishing company as well.
Yeah, Runner.
Yes, we love Runner. Your roster there is just having such success, but when you think about it, it's been a year and a half now?
Not even. It's been, I mean, June of last year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are the biggest wins that come to mind, or just moments you're so proud of?
For sure, Runner writers were all over the Tate McRae album, all over Think Later. Karol G. We have, I think in the last week, I think 3 songs on New Music Friday. Tiesto's new single, Role Model. Noah Conrad, one of our writers, did the Role Model single that's gone viral. Lisa, Blackpink. The diversity is kind of off the charts, and we just signed a big country writer who I can't announce right now, but we're about to. I'd say the crowning achievement for me, Amanda Hill, who I graciously snuck away from Sony, who I think is just the best in the business, the best A&R. She was like, am I reading this right? This is back in like June. It was the 1-year anniversary of launching Runner. That week we had 5 songs in the top 40, 2 of which were top 10, and we had 5 or 6 songs in today's top hits all at the same time.
Wow.
And I was like, we're an independent, like, I mean, Blackstone happens to be a partner, which is a solid partner, but like, we're an independent company. We've existed for 12 months and we have 5 songs in the top 40. I screenshot that. I was like, I want to frame that as like year one.
The band has been together 20 plus years. Is there an era that you look back on and just are the fondest of?
The easy answer would be, okay, our third album was the album that kind of shifted the temperature for the band. And had a bunch of singles on that one. I also associate that with being the most exhausted I've ever been and not seeing my family. So if I'm being honest, fondness, I would say I've had the most fun in the last 2 years.
That's amazing.
So it took us that long to learn how to tour, to learn how to balance it. We've created new limits and rules to how long we can be gone per year, just for our families and our own psychological well-being. I'm still just baffled that we've managed to gain new fans at this stage.
Congratulations on truly everything. It makes me very happy to know that you are enjoying this era the most, and thank you for making time.
Yeah, thank you. Go Billboard.